Cool. Thanks for having me, dude. I kind of want to know what you guys want to talk about today. I like to do these things a little bit more interactive and get some help, but you guys have to not be shy. I can cover anything you want, from sales to building to mindset, whatever you want. This is your meeting. I could talk at you for as long as you want, but I assume you guys came here to learn something specific. Who wants to know what? Give me a couple of, like... Building? Who else? Building stuff? Was that you that said that? Yeah. Okay, sorry, it echoed from over there.
She has commanding
How did
voice.
you know with adversity? Because you didn't just stay
5-star current.
Building, okay. When you say mindset, clarify. Like, what are you struggling with?
It could be adversity, like dealing with other stuff and staying focused, distracted.
Yeah. You struggle with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Like personal stuff? Okay. Do you know why?
Family.
Family stuff. Okay. Cool. How deep do you want to get on that?
I know where it's going.
Meaning everyone deals with it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you feel like there's stuff you want to share, you can, but you certainly don't have to in front of a bunch of people. We were talking about stuff earlier, outside. Just dealing with shit. Like, who in here dealing with shit?
Raise your hand.
No? None for you? You got an easy life, nothing going on hard in your life. You better be careful going home tonight, bro.
He's 85, man. He's happy to just be here. You know? I know you're 50.
Yeah, I think that, most people use it as an excuse to not do things. I'm saying it can be an excuse or it can be a reason, and for me, I've just learned, like, in my life, I just call it noise, because it's all the stuff, I just try to do my best, depending on the situation, to either ignore it or, like, in her case, she's trying, like, sometimes we're trying to be right about something, right? And I'm like, do I give a shit if I'm right about this actual situation? And it was just like an epiphany to me, dude, that, like, most of the stuff in life tends to be disagreements or whatever it is, and I've just learned to, like, who gives a shit if I'm right or wrong? I feel like if I do things for the right reasons, so I don't respond. Like, no response is a response. Huh? Yeah. And so for me, with personal stuff, and I don't know if your adversity is the same, but my adversity in life has always been personal stuff. Relationships, family, kids, just shit. And I've just learned to not engage, and even in business, like, her stuff was more business related. But I told her the same thing. I'm like, what do you give a shit what that person thinks? And why do you need them to approve of you to be successful in this space? You don't. Like, at all. None of you need whoever hired you to be successful. Does it help if they're good? Sure, yeah, it helps. But there's plenty of people and plenty of opportunity. And I think I've learned so many people over the years blame their situation, whether it be their upline, their hierarchy, where they live, their office, no office, telesales, not all the stuff, and they blame all these things for why they're not successful. And I'm like, there's people with worse stuff in life than probably all of us. I use sports a lot because it's very well known, or like, I don't know, people in Hollywood or whatever, people that aren't in, like, public eye. How many times have you seen someone deal with some family stuff, get divorced, lose a kid, lose a parent, lose a spouse, and they show up the next day on the field and play whatever sport they play? Or your favorite actor. They got stuff in life, and they show up and they perform for the movie you like to buy. I use Broadway a lot. I've seen a couple Broadway shows, and it's all right. And they do, like, I saw, I always forget the name of it. What's one where they rap?
Cats.
Nope. They rap, like, the history of the United States. Hamilton. Yeah. So, like, the first time I watched that, my wife took me, and I was like, whoa, is this stuff real? And she's like, they taught us this in 4th grade, dude. And I'm like, if they had only rapped it, I would have known the American history. Yeah.
It made it fun.
Yeah.
So no pays attention to
Yeah.
history in the 4th.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh shit, that's how the country came about. Who knew? And for those that haven't seen it, go watch it. It is a cool musical. But that was one of the most famous ones ever. They perform typically twice a day, live, every day of the week, especially in New York City. And they have life. And if you actually pay attention to the actual cast, there was a shitload of drama in some of the main characters' lives.
In real life.
Yes.
That's the crazy
Yes.
part.
Yeah. But every day they had to get on stage in New York City and do their deal. Does it make sense? And if they showed up and they were depressed or they're like, I'm dealing with A, B, or C, I can't work today. You know what I mean? And then think of you as a consumer. What if you try to consume something? You were in a Yankees hat. What if the Yankees were like, and I don't know if you're a fan or not, but I'm gonna use it for the analogy. If you go to a game and they were like, you know what, life is hard today. We're just gonna go home. We don't feel like swinging or pitching today. We're just good. People would be outraged. So our expectations of others are to ignore the noise and service me. Fair? You go to a restaurant, they mess up your steak or bring you unsweet tea instead of sweet tea, which, by the way, is Virginia the North or the South?
It depends on where you go.
Because, like, they don't know what sweet tea is here, and it weirds me out. I don't drink sweet tea, but when I went to get some for Amanda, they looked at me, they were like, we have sugar.
Yeah, you're like,
I'm like,
I
oh,
like sweet
I
tea.
thought I was still in the South until this morning.
I just said, sorry, I'll start with my pinky.
As soon as
This
I
is the South, and then you
Yeah.
go to Northern Virginia.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They don't. I
Go to
think
my house where they talk like this. When they put a W in the word talc, you're in the South.
I don't even know what you just said.
That's what I'm saying. When they don't touch their lips together, you're in my neck of the woods like, hey, how y'all doing? I don't know what, I need a
That's how West Virginia.
decoder pin.
But again, and you're in that situation, and they prepare your food wrong, you're upset. And I'm like, do you ever go like, what if the chef in the back just is dealing with family issues and he's having a bad day? You ain't willing to do that for other people. But we want the entire world to do it for us. You know, I'm like, careful. You know, so you just gotta unfortunately learn to suck it up. I mean, that's the reality. You know, life ain't gonna stop. And do you think successful people don't have stuff to deal with? They just get through it. You know, does it make it easy? No. But in the moment, whatever adversity you're dealing with, you have to learn to catch that moment and not be willing to lose to that moment. And what was a real trigger for me is like if adversity slows you down. Is that fair? Yeah. So you know it's not the adversity you're losing to. It's yourself and your own thought process you're losing to. Your unwillingness to go anyway. Because you have a choice. We have adversity. Now we have a choice to make. Do I go or do I stop? And when you choose stop, that's on you. You know? And when I learned that, I was like, yo, if I lose to him in anything, we're in a battle, we're selling more, we're fighting, we're racing, it don't matter. And he beats me, I'm like, all right, he beat me. But to lose to me, that's really stupid. You know? And I used to be that way early on. You're struggling, it's okay. You need a little cough drop or something? I got one, I'm serious. Little honey thing. You know, and early on in my career, I would lose to myself a lot. And it cost me a lot of money. It's expensive to let things get in your way. And that can be anything. You know, I was talking to, Dan, we were talking earlier. And he's trying to figure out how to invest more in leads so he can sell more. And do you mind if I share this? That's fine. Or hell, you can share it if you want. But it was like, he was looking at his lead spend versus what he sells. And he makes good money. Decent. He's lived a decent lifestyle, you know? And his ROI is pretty good. And I'm like, but he's been the same for 3 years. 3 years, you told me, right? 3 or 4, whatever it is, same. I'm like, why? Oh, I don't want to invest more. And I'm like, well, wait, can I share the numbers? Roughly, what I remember? I think it was like $2K a month roughly spend equals $20K, roughly. Ballpark is what he's spending. Here's what he's making. He's done 3 years straight. And I said, why don't you just make that 4K? And then wouldn't that just equal 40? Like, it seems simple. And he's like, I have fears of that. I'm like, well, why? He's like, the pay comes slow. And I'm like, are we in the same industry? Because the pay don't come slow. Even the slow pay is fast pay.
It's gonna come for sure.
Correct. And his daily is spending $75 a day on ads. And I'm like, why don't you make it 150? And I'm like, because that's only 75 a day. You don't have to put the extra $2,000 up front today. Does that make sense? Like, do you not think if you spend $75 a day for the next few days, you'll get a couple policies to pay for itself? He's like, well, yeah, I know it will, but I'm like nervous. I'm like, okay. So is everybody else. You know? So I told him the way I do it for me, which is one of my favorite acronyms that I use for myself.
Don't be a little baby.
No, that's not what that says at all.
Don't be a little bitch. What?
Hey, there's no L in there.
Don't be a baby.
Don't be a bitch.
Yeah, it's funny enough. It's y'all like 4-year-olds. I feel like I'm a teacher at the front of the class.
I'm so sorry, Mr. White.
He started it.
He's done.
Do you want me to separate them?
We are separated.
Be in the middle.
You know, and so for me, I've learned I have to talk to myself. I assume everyone does that. I don't know, but I don't know how we talk to ourselves. I'm kind of aggressive with myself. You know, and funny enough, when I started sharing that, then I don't know how it got to merch, but somehow we made I think we have shirts and stuff. Yeah, like we have stuff with it. And dude, it's our most popular stuff. Yeah.
My kids wear your bracelets.
Yeah.
What does that mean, Johnny? Don't be a bitch.
No, the bracelet says get shit done.
Yeah.
John Wetmore told me.
It's just how I speak to me. You know, when I'm being weak, in my opinion, that's what he's being, because it's not like it's not like his first day in the business. He's doing this shit 3 years.
Don't be a bad bitch.
You know?
Best one.
And then we looked at his total, because he tracks his numbers pretty good. And I think it was something like, I think it was like 70,000 dials. Something like that? Is that the right number? Yeah. Something like that. And then like 1.2 million in premium. Somewhere in that ballpark. All right, pretty good. And when we did the math, because I just like to do it, we divided one by the other. What did it equal per dial? $17.77. And who's read the chapter in the book? It's the same. My number was the same. It's literally a chapter in the book that's like 17, the number that changed my life. When I understood every time I made a phone call, I made this, I was like, well, yeah, like, what do I give a shit what anyone says or thinks? You know, and then his appointments, I don't remember how many appointments it was, but it came out to like $320 every time he books one. Which, mine was the same number. Why? Because it's insurance. The averages are the averages. And it's the law of large numbers. And most people's mistake is they have such baby numbers, the averages can't take into account. They just don't come for you. You know, it's the consistency of this thing that really helps. And a lot of people struggle with the ups and downs of it. You know, and what I always try, like, who sells 40K plus in here? 2? You ain't there yet? What are you waiting for?
No, I got on I'm on my way. I got on a consistent lead spin.
How close to on your way?
20 right now?
How much could you sell if you really wanted to?
At least 40. Probably 50. I don't want to be on the spot. No, it's okay.
Sorry.
No.
Yeah, no.
Nope.
No, I'm sure I could do 50
Yeah.
if I focus.
Agreed.
100%.
I've done 40, 50,
Consistent?
30, 40.
Yeah. So it's like, again, some people go from 10 to 0. She went 40 to 30. It's the same spread. It's still up and down. Right? But some people's up and down are like way down here with the 0 to 10. They go $7,000 this month, $3,000 the next month, $12,000, $5,000. It's just like a little roller coaster. Yeah, when I hit Hall of Fame, I issued 460. But one month it'd be 72, then the next month it'd be 48. then it'd be 63, then it'd be 32. You know what I mean?
I don't average is
It's still the roller coaster. And then the parts that we don't like about the business. Think about the things you don't like at all about what we do, which is buy leads, call people. Perfect. Chargebacks. What else do we hate?
roll up that.
Fine. That's building. Totally different game. Just as a producer.
Oh, producer,
Yep.
chargebacks,
Making phone calls.
making phone calls.
Okay.
Basically, do the activity.
Handling rejection.
Rejection. Yep. Okay. So when you sell 70K versus 10K,
You're still gonna do with the
are
same.
you going to have more or less shit? Well, you better get used to it now because it ain't going to be less.
It's gonna be more.
Right.
So don't be a bab.
Don't be a bab.
Don't be a bab, Johnny.
That's not how it worked either, but it's close. It's closer. You know?
John, can I add
Yeah, please.
something? So, one thing John told
We
me
have an
is that
eraser.
it's a 30-second change. It doesn't take months or years.
Yeah.
So, I went back in the office and I pulled it up and I changed my ad spend. I'm at $150 a day.
Let's go.
Coachable.
So 50K loading up.
Then I made a phone call, booked an appointment, made $320.
Wow, there it is. That's
Then-
your money back.
I've got new leads coming in. I just booked another appointment through the auto text.
It's an easy game. This is an easy game when you understand it.
It gets fun.
And I don't believe that anyone doesn't understand it. The ones that struggle the most think the stuff goes away. The reality is you will either get better at handling it and you'll figure out how to do more and just adapt to the negative, or you'll stay where you're at and it'll be inconsistent and suck forever. You know? And most do.
It'll break you.
Most do.
It's tough.
I mean, 2/3 of our agents, we had, I don't know, 5,000 agents sell a policy last year in my group. Yeah. But we only had like 1,800 last month. Why? Because the other 3,200 quit already.
What do you think is,
Does that make sense? Like, someone's in here mad that someone quit last week. I'm like, no, we had 3,200 quit last year. 3,200 agents quit my agency this past year. Not ouch. I don't give a shit. Why?
How many are writing?
1,800 a month. We had 5,000 sell last year, 1,800 a month. Why do we not have 5,000 every month? Because they quit.
Well, those 1,800s, they know.
18, yeah. I mean, but of those, some are at the bottom and they're going to quit too. But if we keep hiring, we can outdo the quit. Where else does that work? Chargebacks, roll-ups. Does that make sense? We get chargebacks and people go like, oop, I'm going to stop selling. I'm like what?
Should recruit more.
So when you get a chargeback, what are you supposed to do?
Fix it or just keep writing.
Sell more.
Sell more.
Does that make sense? And it's like, you said something earlier, and I don't know that you caught it. I did. I just didn't use it till now. But you said something about the money, because you've sold a little bit, and you were like, I was depending on that money. What's the percentage average that falls off the books?
25%. 30 to be.
So why were you depending on 100% of it?
If 25 is not coming, we're secure.
Why? Is this news to anyone that 25+% falls off? I was taught 30%, but I'll accept this. Does that make sense? And it can vary a little bit, person to person, sure. You know, you get really good and it can be 10% fall off. Or like Kim, he gets 0 chargebacks, but he's a fucking unicorn, whatever. You know, for the most of us normal people,
I've never had a chargeback.
yeah, whatever. Keep your head down. That's not real, so don't try to get there.
Because you can't survive in the fun expense world.
God,
I mean,
no.
but it's like when you go like, that's a really shitty version of a bell curve. You know what that is? And like the middle is whatever that percent is, 68%, whatever the hell it was. Well, he's like one over here. But everyone wants this one. And I'm like, no, the law of large numbers says there's only a couple people that can have this. And guys like him, we give a high five and we get out of the way. But we don't train on that shit. Because it's not real
You
life.
can't duplicate that.
No. But I love it for him.
Yes.
Home run.
You're free.
You know? So if we know this number, Why do we get paid? And then how much do we got to put for taxes?
50%,
28%.
depending on where you live.
Perfect. And now we need some for leads.
Yeah. And you have to pay yourself a salary.
So y'all getting paid and you're spending all the money that goes to chargebacks, leads, taxes.
You're the business.
And you pretend you don't know this already. And then you complain to someone.
And then that's someone.
And then they tend to listen
And it becomes a
and tell you it'll be okay.
I'm
Yeah,
going
just
to
it'll
that
get
too.
stop. I go like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. That's how it works.
Welcome to the insurance business.
Like, if you're an insurance agent and you feel like you're stuck, you've hit a wall, you're trying to figure out sales strategies, the scripts to use, how to get like off the ground and get to that top of the leaderboard type status. I have a course that I've put out, super affordable. I'm getting a ton of great feedback from people every day on the strategies they've learned and been able to implement, from goal setting to sales techniques to calendar scheduling, everything you would need to get your business off the ground and get running quickly. jwcourse.com, click the link below and get in there today. Matt, my son Maddox plays baseball.
And he wants to.
He gets at 10. I saw them interview. It was a weird question for a major league player, but he goes 100 at bats. How many hits are you going to get? Anybody know baseball? They bat 100 times. How many hits are they going to get? 30 if they're great. Does that make sense? 20? 25? You know what I mean? A guy gets 35, dude. He's on the news. Out of 100, so he's failing 65, 70, 75% of the time. The best of the best in their career.
But it's getting on base what matters.
But then when Maddox, when they're little, their whole goal, they want to hit a home run at every at bat, and they don't want to strike out ever.
God, that's crazy.
So what do we spend most of the time teaching the kids as they grow up? It's a hard game. It's a game of errors. It's a game of mistakes. You got to move on from the mistakes. You can't let them linger. You just have to move on. Next play. So they tell them every time, next play. Next phone call.
Who's next?
Correct. That's normal in life, everywhere. And for some unknown reason, in this little bubble of our industry, people allow us, because I fell for it, to pretend that this ain't real life and the shit don't happen. You know? Now, can you get wealthy with it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, once you accept what you're doing.
Correct. When you know your game. You know? Again, you go out and hit 30 out of 100, 3 out of 10. You get 3 hits, you strike out 7 times. You're considered great. Now imagine, I'll get you in a sec. You run 100 appointments, and let's just pretend you close 30. What's the average one pay you?
$1,000.
Okay. But we're all mad about the 70 we missed.
That's good.
No, 70s. Yeah.
Why?
Because we don't like being told no.
So-
We don't like rejection.
So for me, I go 30K, 100. Well, now I know what I make per appointment. I get paid per appointment that I schedule. I ain't got to see them. I don't got to talk to them. I don't got to nothing. If I book the appointment in my head, I get paid. I get paid on all 100. Does that make sense? His was $300 an appointment. Imagine that. So you want to write 60K? Run 200 appointments. Do we need to figure out leads? Yeah, I got it. We got to figure that piece out. But it's not difficult to ramp up lead spend. You know.
About that you get paid the same for no-show or cancellation. So actually I get paid more because now I have more time to dial.
So
You don't spend any time on it.
So don't focus on that.
That's good.
Don't focus on what you're gonna make. Focus on the activity.
Yeah. The hard part of it is when you make 85 grand on one right? No. For me, I only made $300. I got deposited 34 grand on annuity. In my head, I only made $300. Why? Because I make $300 an appointment.
Because it makes you fall in love with the activity on the outcome.
Correct.
That's what.
Because then it became a game.
Yeah, it's a game.
Now it's just a game. How many of these can I collect? And how quick can I collect them? Now what I told him, he ran, again, whatever many appointments. And I think he showed me 3 years of stuff.
4 years.
4 years? I was like, imagine if instead of dragging that out 4 years, you did it in 1 year. It's the same numbers.
You mean condensed?
Some of y'all take a month to issue $7,000. Anybody there? $5,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000, that guy? Some of y'all like lower end? You ever thought about looking at the activity and go, what if I just did this activity in a week instead of dragging it out a month? That model seemed better to me than to try to be like him. Because there's always guys that have crazy success on small.
Niches.
Yeah, that's just normal, dude. It's okay, and it's okay. I'm not that guy. I'm a hard worker. I will do whatever. I'll outwork people. I don't care. You know? And I didn't play in that market. Looking back, do I wish I learned that stuff?
Well, it's
You wouldn't have been mad.
He doesn't like final expense. He'll tell me, you don't like final expense.
Why should give it to you?
Yeah, he's like, bro. He literally tells me.
Well, I wouldn't if I were him either.
He goes, I can't do it this way.
Because he's really good at the piece he does.
I don't know how you
No different than I don't like selling, period.
Oh, is he
It's better than that.
yeah, for sure. Build a team.
I don't want to sit in there and deal with the shit he dealt with for 80 grand. I don't want to do that. I'd rather make 80 grand not selling by teaching y'all to make money.
So can you talk about that? How you when you saw the big vision of like, it's time for me to build. It's time for me
Yeah.
to get out of the field and like.
Is your question related to this? Totally separate? Is it related to that? Okay, tell me yours first, and then I'll get to his.
It's really for the newer people in the room.
Yep.
What do you need? What would you say are the 3 things you need to do to be successful?
If you master those 3, you can hit any number you want in this.
Leads, work, train, rent, people. Leads,
That's the
work,
game.
train.
If you can get these down. Now, what do people not understand? How much of this?
How much is necessary?
And most people don't get enough of these to be able to do enough of that. And they spend all day doing this so they don't have to do that.
Complacency.
They want to do this. They want America in here talking about fucking product all day long. Which, great, they have it. I love it. But that's all they want to do. Because they don't want to do this until they know everything here.
Analysis or paralysis.
Now let's go back to Let's go back to Maddox's baseball. Imagine all he does is train, watch videos on baseball. But he never gets a bat, never picks up, puts on a glove, never throws a pitch. He's going to suck forever. Fair? Okay? So why do some people think you can out-train?
Because it's very simple. They don't want to keep themselves accountable to work.
Some of it's that, and I think deep down a lot of people think this is necessary. Now, where does it work great? When you do it in tandem. Work, then train. Work, then train. Work, train, go, oh shit, that ain't how I did it. Let me tweak this. Let me train again. Oop, let's make another tweak. Oh, let me train again. Oop, make another tweak. Train again, make another tweak. Hey dude, what do you do here? I'm struggling with this. How do you handle it? Go back to work, do it again. Train a little, another fix. But we have to have this under control or we literally can't do that. I get a lot of people over the years that are like, some go like, I want to just see if it works. I'm like, you ever heard anybody say that? I just want to see if it works. Any of y'all thought that? I'm like, you want to know if the insurance industry works? You want to know if sales works? If it works for them, that's what they convince themselves of. I believe they don't think they're going to actually do the work. Everybody wants the upside. And I'm like, yeah, you think you're getting rich without hard work? Like, I don't know that path.
And then what is the work?
I mean, it's phone calls in presentation. This whole business is prospecting presentations. It's prospecting presentations. Prospecting presentations. So you go, I don't have money. You better prospect your ass off out there in the world.
And however it's
Like, you don't need a lead to prospect. You can create leads. You walk out that door. How many people in this country?
Million.
Hundreds of millions. Yeah, that don't have insurance. Everybody knows the stats of how many have insurance versus don't, right? Like, no one's confused. Most people don't have insurance. So, is this 54? So every other person you pass does not have insurance. And you have a license and you don't open your mouth. I mean, you're in sales. We're in sales. You know? When I leave Atlanta Airport, dude, go on a Monday. Atlanta Airport, packed to the gills with salespeople getting on the plane to fly all across the country to go sell shit. You know? We're in sales. Is this a cheat? Yeah. It's just like pick a company, they advertise on TV, you then call that company. They pay for prospects. So you either have to pay for them or you have to go find them. Those are your options. Does that make sense? And I don't pick a business. That works the same way. A pizza business. You either going to pay for advertising or you're going to go stand out there flipping a sign on the corner.
That's true. Very true.
Right? So what equivalent of that are you doing for your sales position? Most people aren't doing anywhere near this. You know? And I don't know. I don't know anyone presenting. I know almost no one presenting 10 times a week making great money.
Yeah.
I bet you if we took a poll, fair? Who does 20 plus presentations a week every single week? 4 or 5 people in the room, and one is shaky. So 20, how long does one take?
It take 30 minutes, an hour.
Average. Give me a number.
30 minutes.
Let's go 45. I can't do the math. I don't know what 20 times.
45 from the opening to
Sure.
quotes.
So we're, like, even if we give you an hour,
If it's corporate, it's gonna
it's
take
20
an
hours. So, but listen, 75% of the people in this room are not doing 20 a week.
It's 5 hours of talk time a day.
You're spending less than 20 hours a week in your sales career.
You are not doing 20.
I know.
You're not doing 20. I'm not doing 20.
And I think that's low.
It's low, but I'm not doing 20.
Now we work 5 days a week.
Or 7 or 6.
I like that number better. But people want to be complacent and only work 5. It's only 4 a day. So 75% of this room is talking to less than 4 people a day. And you're confused at why you're broke. There's 24 of these suckers in a day. You're spending under 4 doing your career. I'm like, fine if you just want to be mediocre in life. But if you want to be rich, this ain't going to cut it. And I don't know if people lie to you and say this gets you rich. I don't ever hear that. But I try to go to the such extreme to point it out because it is really easy to make really good money in this space. It's really easy. Half the people in the country don't have insurance. You can get unlimited leads starting today by paying for them. If you don't have the money to pay for them, you can go out there and talk to as many people as you want to generate cash so you then can cheat and buy them. So you don't have to keep generating them yourself out there. Now I know people that make $1 million a year in multiple companies that don't buy a single lead. Some people look at our space and they're like, why would you buy leads? There's people out there, you just talk to them. They think we're nuts paying for leads. Now, I don't want to go talk to strangers. I like leads. I don't even really want to talk to leads, to be honest.
That's so good.
But I wanted to get rich.
So talk about that pace. That's what I want to hear from you.
So
It is hot as in here. Can someone turn the air down more? Someone? Can you ask Dave to lower the air somehow? Save us?
You're killing us.
So
It's hot.
Open this window.
Look at his forehead.
So you're saying multiply what you do if you're doing okay. But, because I know I don't do no
How many you do a week? Roughly.
Really?
Yeah, no, not for fake. You know, okay. Do you mind sharing how much you're making?
I probably make 18. I probably write 18 or 20 days a week.
Wait, what?
18.
That's what you can't.
You're writing 20K a week on 12 appointments? How much you issue? How long you been here? Why you keep looking at her?
How long have you been here? How about you right?
Yo, man, you look good.
Answer the question, Cal.
Yo, you better make me look so good. It's a 20 or 10.
She's like, I'm not doing 20.
That's what you're looking at. That's a lawyer.
John, she's an exception. She picks up the phone.
No.
Talks to two people.
We're gonna go through it though. How long you been here?
So this is my first full year. I was in the military the last 2 years. 20.
What year are we in? 25. Were you here last year?
Yeah.
You did all last year full time?
No.
When did you start?
April.
So you're at 12 months. We're in April now.
She was part-time.
I was part-time.
Okay. How long you been full time?
From last April.
So it's a year.
It's a year. Yeah. Oh, my bad. See, I don't look it up, man.
You have to look at her. Yeah, she's gonna get it. You were supposed to look at her.
Just judge your questions and count.
It's really easy to make money in this business.
That was funny.
So you've been full time for a year. How much has she issued in the last 12 months?
Well, I know for the end of.
12 months issued, roughly.
I don't know 12 months, but I know last
Do you know?
year.
Since you've been here?
For the 12
Do you know how much you've made
last year,
in the last 12 months since you've been here full time?
From April to April.
298.
Thank you. Perfect. So 300. Okay? That's how much you deposited in the last year. It's great. It's good money. Is it more than you made in the military, I assume? Okay. Are you excited about that number?
Yeah, I could do better.
I agree. Do you want it to be more? So you're running 12 a week. Okay. We're going to do stupid simple math. If you went to 24 a week, how much are you going to sell now?
Oh, dude, like 40, 50K.
Hall of Fame.
42.
600 grand a year.
It's double.
600?
You're just adding 12 more appointments.
600,000.
So when you stop at 12, every time you stop at 12 from now on, I want you to think you're sacrificing another 300 grand.
I like that perspective. Always thinking.
Yeah, because it is a comfort thing. You'd be like,
But she has 10 kids though.
But she gets to make the choice. Yeah. Now, if you're okay with it, be okay with it. Yeah.
No, I was about to like.
Yeah. I mean, I had 5 kids. I have 5 kids, but when I started, my youngest was 9 months old, and my oldest was probably, let's see, how long have I been doing this? 12. She was probably 17. I probably had yeah. I had a wife and an ex-wife.
Yeah, both.
Do you think that's the only reason I won? No. But I'm saying we all get to make choices in life. I'm not saying she has to do this. I'm just telling her how easy it is. You're already doing it. Would 600 change your kids and your family and your life more than 300? Okay, so then the question is, would you be open to doing that instead of that? It's only 6 a day, 4 days a week. So you have a presentation. Huh? That's what I said. Correct. So you go have one at 8, you have one at 12, you have one at 2, you have one at 4, you have one at 6 and 8. You barely did anything, and you can hit this very easily. Or you could go, let's do one at 8, do one at 9, do one at 10, do one at 11, do one at 12, do one at 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could be done by 1 p.m. every day, 4 days a week, hit 24 appointments a week, and that would be your number, assuming you keep the averages you have now. What I would venture to guess what happened to me and what I told him, when I did this exercise, this number tripled for me. It didn't double.
so you're saying make the appointment.
Yeah. The appointments is where you get money. That's where you get paid.
What do you mean it tripled?
My income, when I doubled my activity, my income tripled. I did this basic, like, I think the word's like linear, if it increases equally. So I increased my appointments like this, and my income went like that. Why? I got better. I didn't give a shit if they closed or not because I knew I had a ton more. So my demeanor was different. I wasn't worried about making the sale. And then you start seeing things at such a rapid pace, you're sharper at what you do for a career. You don't talk to someone for 6 hours. I'm sorry, you're going to kind of suck at the next one. You don't see someone for 3 days, you're going to be off your game.
Be rusty. So you gotta.
You know, so I like, give me on the hour every hour. You know, and again, imagine what you could do with it. You could play the time zone game and start at 7 a.m. and work till 2 a.m. Just call a different time zone.
Hawaii, Alaska.
You know, y'all heard like international business. You know, people sell here overseas all the time.
Oh, they got the Forex market. It's open 24 hours a day.
You know, it's just people, your potential is so much higher than you allow for. And we limit ourselves. And I'm like, why? Why do you limit yourself? If you're in the insurance space and trying to build an agency, or you're trying to like break records in sales, just hit new levels, new heights, click the link below to apply to my consulting and coaching program that I have out there. I'm helping tons of people get to new levels, get to new income heights, help them build their teams, put systems in place, staffing stuff, recruiting processes, automations, and just teaching people how to get to a point where they're selling on their own pen, 30, 40, 50 grand a month. And if they're building a team, teaching how to have an effective structure to your insurance agency for the most profitability you can. There is an application process. I'm only looking to work with like high-end people who really want to make big things happen. A couple recent clients that we've had in the coaching program. One dude as an individual went from selling like 8 grand a month, barely getting by, about to quit the industry, found the book, hit me up direct, started a coaching program, went to 35K his first month, has issued like 150K in the last 90 days and has changed the trajectory of his career. Working with another agency builder, very first month went from doing like 800 grand a month to almost 1.1 million. We added like 10 or 15% production in 30 days and continue to work on things there. So if you're interested, click the link, apply, and if you're a fit, I'll reach out. And so for me early on, I thought, shit, why not me? Why not you? Why aren't you up here? How the hell are you still not up here, bro? Confuses the shit out of me. Most likable people on the planet. You know what I mean? Like some of y'all belong up here. I just made an active decision to go, I want that. I want that role. I don't want that role. It takes time, you know, but when I saw the business early on, man, people always go like, when do you start recruiting? Dude, I started recruiting like before I had anything ready. I was part-time, doing this part-time. I had a full-time accounting job and I was recruiting on the drive to and from my accounting job.
Talking to people.
Yeah, dude, I was selling 3 grand a month recruiting. Why? The insurance industry has been around for a couple hundred years. Amanda looked it up recently.
300 years, I think.
Amanda, is she right there?
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, do these people actually need me to succeed? Hey, remember when you looked up, when I talked about how long people have been selling insurance? And you looked up the first insurance policy was sold? What year was that? 18?
1800.
Yeah. And I'm like, why do they need me to be amazing to introduce them to the industry? And I get paid just by making an introduction? Okay.
And you grew their one market.
I did all kinds of stuff. I just talked to people, dude. Meaning same, no different than all the people. Think about this. We go, half the people out there don't have insurance. Okay? Think about this. What percentage of people out there do you think would like to make more money?
100%.
A whole bunch of them, especially the ones
Everybody.
99%. There's
So-
an idiot in every bunch.
You said that right.
Oh, yeah.
Does that mean every bunch? Is that what you said?
You said there's an idiot in every
I
bunch.
said 99% out there want to make more money. There's 1% in every bunch. You know.
So I'm like, 100% of people you pass every day would like to make more money. and you don't talk to them. Like, all right, that's another choice. For me, I was like, I'll just talk to them. It was really easy for me to go like, hey, you interested in making more money? Yep.
Sure.
Hey, this dude over here is teaching me to sell a bunch of insurance and make a ton of money. You open to a conversation?
Sure.
Come over here.
And don't take
That was
over,
it.
You ever have your kids do it for you? Your kids watch you when they're little. My little girl was like maybe 7. We're at Walmart, and I'm in a nice suit. She walks up to this guy. She goes, "I bet my daddy makes more than you." I was like, "That's not what she meant. I'm so sorry." But here's my card. Give me a call. True story.
What an introduction.
She's excited.
You're
But
broken
the
by this.
business is really simple. Some people are like, I don't know how to get people started.
No, I recruited the enterprise guy. I'm being more,
It's like-
more intentional.
You all got started.
Yeah, somebody recruited us.
You can't tell people to do that piece of getting started. You don't know how to tell someone to get in class.
Don't worry, we're coming.
You don't know how to point them to go like, you go there to buy leads, and then you go here and you grab your phone and there's a phone number on the thing and you just type the same digits here as are on the piece of paper or on the sheet or whatever. Hell, half of them automatic now. You know what I mean? We overcomplicate things. I don't know how to get people started. I'm like, would you like me to buy that? Because I don't want to,
No,
but it will if it appeases you.
no, hell no.
Okay, so why are we waiting?
No, we're not waiting.
We are waiting. Every time I come back here, this room is the same fucking size. Fair? Why are we waiting? You have to talk to a lot of people. I know. A lot of them quit. I'm aware. I work here too.
3,800 quit.
They rolled me dead. Okay. I'm aware. Okay. Someone stole some shit from Walmart today. They don't stop opening.
That's a chargeback for them.
Correct.
They're like, hey, we're closing.
100%.
We got a chargeback.
Everyone has chargebacks, dude.
Yeah.
You know, we just built a new house. We moved in like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And all the windows, they came to clean it at the end, like at the end of construction. They went to clean all the windows, and you know the little squeegee things they use? I had a little piece of metal sticking out of it, and when they were wiping the windows, it scratched every window in my house.
Oh, wow. Even though once the
Every window in my house. I don't know what we spent on windows. I bet it was 400 grand on windows.
holy moly. Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Every window. They filed it with insurance. The cleaner, they denied it. The builder filed it with his insurance. They denied it. The builder has to pay for it.
Yeah, because it was
That's the chargeback to him.
Damn.
400 grand.
It's business.
Yeah.
Name a business that don't have it.
Right.
It's a big chargeback.
I mean, not compared to what I paid him to build it.
Oh, yeah. That's a different.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
It's 60 grand. He probably made, I don't know. What the hell you think Justin probably made? Shit. 700 grand building my house? Like his part.
It's a nice house.
It is a nice house.
It's like,
It's a really nice house. I don't think anybody here's been to it besides my crew.
I just see it on your Instagram when you're
Yeah.
working on stuff.
But it's all from this. And I've just done it for 10 years.
Beautiful.
You know? And I don't let people overcomplicate stuff. And I used to.
Yep.
I used to overcomplicate stuff. And then someone helped me not overcomplicate it. You know? My deal was I was worried about $1,000 a month for one thing or the other. And a dude walked in, the whole story's in the book. I'll skip the story. But like, dude walks up to me and he goes, "Are you really losing your ever-loving mind over one policy a month?" I was like, in fact, I am.
You get so fixated on that one situation that
Yeah.
it destroys the whole.
Yeah. One a month.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, man. So I got tired of being in this situation. You know, and again, insurance is cool. I liked the money. I liked the money that it paid me. But to me, there was a ceiling there. And I didn't want to be a sales guy forever. I knew that from the beginning. I wanted to build something. I wanted to have a company. I wanted to build. You know, no matter what I do.
So, do you look for leaders? How do you build like a strong leadership?
I just look for people who want to make more money than they're making now, and I help them make more money than they're making now. Leadership is taken, not given. The leaders are gonna pop, dude. Can I notice it if they're showing leadership qualities and go like, yo, come over here. Yeah, but I don't have a clue. You pick this room and go, who's gonna kill it next year? Bro, I don't have a clue. 12 years into this business, I don't have a clue which one of y'all is gonna kill it this year. I have no way how to tell. Building an agency? And how much higher can he get? Like how many IULs and annuities can he sell? Can he make a couple $1 million a year? Yeah. Can he make 40?
Yeah.
40 million?
Well,
Selling by himself?
no, not by himself.
You did marketing.
No. I was gonna say with a
I already do
team.
that.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm like, and that's the 1%. And I'm like, again, I can make a few $100,000. Cool. It's good money. 3, 4, 5, 6, 700 grand. You can make that all day selling. Go buy a nice house, 2 new cars, and private school tuition for 2 or 3 kids. There ain't no money left. I'm like, I don't want. And then now you have to sell to maintain your lifestyle. Careful. I know agents that y'all know them. Y'all know someone. Someone in my group been here selling 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. Hall of Fame every year. And they can't slow down because it has to sustain their lifestyle. I don't want to be in that spot. You know? I ain't mad at it being a part of the process. But long term, that's just not what I wanted. You know? And so when I hire people, that's one of the first questions I ask. Do you want to be a life insurance salesperson for the rest of your life? Or do you have any interest in one day building a company? Everyone says that. I go, got it. Cool. We'll work on it. Hey, who do you know? And I start there. Hey, who do you know?
This guy named Shannon, he's a crazy guy.
Yeah. Well, get me on the phone with Shannon. I'll take care of it. You go sell. Yeah, go sell. I got him. That's how I built the whole agency. Then Shannon comes to me. I go, hey, you want to be a life insurance sales guy forever? Or you one day want to build a team? Hey, who do you know?
A lot of people.
Give me the lot of people. Get out of the way. Go sell. I got you. That's it. That's how I built the whole team. And then they start going, and then one day he goes like, how the hell did you get him to sell? I go, great fucking question. Let's talk. Teach you how to teach people now. Does that make sense? It's like you got to learn it, and you got to teach it, and then you got to teach someone to teach it. So meaning I sold, and I taught Zach, and then Zach taught Easton. And that group is now deep as shit. Make sense? And then over here, I sold, taught a guy Nick. He taught a dude who taught a dude who taught Bosworth. Deep as shit.
Master too.
Does that make sense? And then this more, I can keep going. Make sense?
Makes no sense.
Easy business.
It is.
Doesn't mean it ain't gonna be shitty days. A lot of drama, a lot of stuff, a lot of personalities, a lot of headaches, a lot of people will quit you. A lot of people who you didn't think will quit you. People will learn to hate you. Some will love you. Some can't stand you. It's just part of the game. The game of life. You know? And so for me, we just keep moving. And we keep building and we keep developing stuff. And when I see opportunities, I take them. You know, now we got a lot of stuff going on in my world. We do a lot. We got a lot going on. Some of y'all come around the office like, holy shit. You know, I like building stuff. I enjoy that piece. Questions? I don't know what time I'm supposed to go to, but it's your meeting.
So do you have an office in Georgia? Do you have one around here? Or no?
I had at one point, I had 5 offices at one point. I would actually buy my office I owned. So in 2019, a lot of us were renting offices early, like when offices became cool. 14, 15, 16, 17, we just get an office, get a bunch of agents there, just like this. And then in 19, I'm like, what if I buy it? So I actually bought 2 in the same day. Bought 2 office buildings, set up an owner finance deal. The guy who owned it financed it for me, so I didn't have to go to the bank. Gave him 10% down. It's like 150 grand down. Got 2 buildings. They were like 700 grand each. 5,000 square feet each one. And then I took them and I chopped up the offices, and I had 10 offices in here, and I rented them for $500 a month. I had a tenant on the bottom of this one that paid me like $3, so I'd make $8,000 a month there. That paid the mortgage for both buildings.
And that's free too.
So that's how I did it first. Then I was like, oh, I should probably charge myself rent. So I started charging my insurance agency rent because the rental company, and then Integrity bought it.
And Integrity pays you.
So Integrity pays my rental company today rent for the building that my agency rents. And then we went to Tennessee, Alabama. I owned my rental agency owns the fucking building, and I rented the building from myself.
And you also Integrity promises.
Yeah. So when they bought the lease. I didn't plan that. Just it's business. No different if anybody, Fruit Loops bought me. They'd pay the rent too. And then we opened one in Alabama, Tennessee, Colorado, and I taught other people to do it. That's how Zach's office opened, Schroed's office, Gary, if y'all remember him. Like all their offices we bought, and I was like, I'll put y'all in there, I'll rent it to you guys, and when you want to buy it from me, buy it from me. It worked out a deal.
So at what point would you tell an agent when they should set up their own LLC?
I mean, I would say your accountant would know better, but it's not near as early as most people want to. Like some people want to get their whole LLC licensed and all this. I'm like,
Oh, I know. That's a pain.
I never did that. I didn't do that. Integrity did that for me. My whole career made millions of dollars. 1099 was John Wetmore. Now I had an LLC. And the guy moved the money over to the LLC. We wrote it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But my agency was never licensed. Never.
It was just a DBA for you.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Integrity did it. They wanted it. So when they bought it, they got it. They got Wetmore Enterprises licensed. I never did it. So licensing, not important at all. To set up an LLC when you're making good money, you'll know. Like you go to the CPA and they're like, you owe $72,000 in taxes. Like you should have one set up. Does that make sense? Like you'll know when you're making real money. There are tax benefits to having it set up the right way. But early, it's almost irrelevant. There's so many write-offs when you're 1099. You don't have to do it early. If you make a couple $100,000, probably
Hire your
time.
kids. You know that one?
Yeah. Huh?
Hire your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's $60,000 write-off for me, man. 4 kids.
There's a lot of things you can write off.
That
Makes sense.
Your IUL, 100,000 a year. Write that off.
Well, thank you so much.
You got anything else?
This is great.
Easy game.
Always good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
No, make sure this room's filled.
Please.
Well, I told Dave I'm gonna be flying in because I don't live in Virginia. I live in Florida, but I'm like, dude, there's a lot of opportunity here.
There's opportunity everywhere in the
I
country.
have an office here, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna
It's full.
We
We
should.
We don't have room.
next
We got
time-
people in there and out there listening. And
friend me of his comments like, what
It's just a very slow and steady grind, the building. And it takes a while before it waterfalls and just sort of happens on its own.
We're getting good people though. Like I'm pretty excited. We have
Yeah.
Steve, the young man that you met, the college, he played college ball.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, you have a network
Yeah.
of people that are gonna go to the NFL.
Yeah.
You can make NFL money here without being in the NFL.
The mistake I see a lot of people make is they start hiring a few, and then they get a handful or a dozen or whatever, and then two things happen. People stop selling to try to build, and they mess up their money. So don't ever let a recruit mess with your money.
So
You got to eat first.
Yeah.
You got to eat first. So you're making phone calls and they need something, you don't have to answer. They should be making phone calls
should
too.
have an open.
You deal with them later.
I'm gonna talk to you after.
Yeah, just schedule. So it's like you go protect my dial. You got to protect your dial time, and then you answer the phone during your dial time, which teaches them what?
That's one problem
That you don't protect yours.
That's one problem that I'm having. That I want to home people, but then I'm like, yo, what am I gonna sell?
Talk to them at 6 in the morning, dude.
Like, what the
Talk to them at 9, 10, 11 p.m.
I mean,
I had two people text me they want to talk. They texted me yesterday or the day before, whatever it was. And I knew I was flying here. We were going to the airport at 8:45. And they were on the West Coast, two people, same day. Hey, can we chat for 10 minutes? I'm like, yeah, I told one, call me at 9 a.m., one, call me at 9:20 a.m.
you gotta control.
They said it's 6 a.m. my time. I said, cool, talk to you then.
Yeah, I think you talked
Awesome.
about that.
Sounds
When you
good.
were building, you were like waking up at 6 in the morning.
I used to I was getting up at 5. I got up at 5, leave the gym 5:30, hit the gym by 6, leave the office by 7, be down at
So I have a
7:30.
question. This is a question that is curiosity for me.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ever gonna buy the boutique hotel or what?
Yes. 100%.
Because you talked about it.
100%.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I will. One day I will have a hotel. I don't know why.
The Wetmore Hotel?
That sounds like a good name.
The Wetmore.
I'm staying at the... Actually, where are you staying at? I'm staying at the
It's done me well my whole life. I don't know why it creates giggles all the time, but it has since I was in second grade.
From the entrance, there's a waterfall. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And the D-BAB bathroom? The D-BAB bathroom is a chain.
I've just for those that don't know what he's talking about, it's in the book. I've always had a mindset of like, if someone else can do something, why can't I?
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
I've had that as long as I can remember.
do it for sure.
I agree.
And I speak Spanish. You don't speak Spanish.
I'm learning.
Oh, un poquito, okay.
Yep. A little bit.
Yeah.
We ain't going there now.
I talk to him. No, I'm gonna talk to him in Spanish. He's gonna answer to me in English. Like, hola, hello,
Yep. That's it.
¿Cómo estás?
Another day.
Good. So you understand Spanish?
Yeah. I can read it really good.
That's cool.
See, that's a different game.
I know.
Hoo-wee. I ain't learning though.
Are you learning Babel?
No, I had a private 1-on-1.
He has a Cuban guy coming from
Did
Georgia.
you bring any of your books or no?
Yeah, my team has them out there.
That's awesome.
But yeah, when I was
I'll get you an autograph.
when I was a kid, I remember saying, and this isn't anything, don't go political at all, but when I was a kid, I remember I was like 8, being like, yo, if this dude Donald Trump can open a damn hotel, why can't I? And I've just never forgot that. You know, when I sit in a hotel now, like the one we're in, what are we staying at, Reese? What's the name of this thing? What's the name of the hotel we're at? What's the name of what hotel we at? What's the name of that thing? Bell? Liberty Trust?
Oh, the little one. That looks like a bank.
Yeah.
That's a vault.
So like one day,
It's nice.
someone sat there and went, it looks like a dope spot for a hotel.
It is a pretty.
And they called their buddy
Spot for a drink.
and they were like, hey, I think we could build a hotel over here. And they went and did it.
Will we have your hotel in Georgia?
I don't know yet. Man, I'm just going to wait for the opportunity to present itself and make it happen one day.
His team is everywhere, like Colorado.
That would be a cool. The Wetmore.
Yeah.
You don't have the-
We got a lot of stuff planned. It's like,
Wetmore.
I just don't ever want to slow
His
down.
logo can be
It's
that.
amazing.
I'm afraid to go backwards.
You know what's pretty beautiful that I learned from you, and you know, because you've been here from day one,
Yeah.
is the fact that you never, you have blinders. Because it's unfortunate that, you know, FFO, you know, we have growing pains. You know, oh, you guys are getting sued. All right, cool. I mean, I don't
Gives a
care.
shit.
The
Yeah.
party's still here. The party's
true.
gonna continue with you or without you.
It is.
So I admire that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Thank you.
You've always remained the same.
Thank you.
Because he has a deep mentality.
I just try to get a little better every day.
It's awesome.
So, appreciate it, guys.